Are you a positive or negative thinker? Not sure? Stay tuned for some honest self-assessment and tips to replace negative thinking with positive thoughts. Welcome to Minutes with Maria. I'm Maria, and in my channel I give tips, lessons, and insights on how to develop a fruitful and healthy mindset. So, there are times when I have to admit that I have a negative mindset and I know that it affects me. See if you can identify with any of these following situations. Scenario number 1. There are days when I work hard and accomplish a lot. And while most people may compliment me on my efforts, there's that one person who says, "I don't think you did your best." And so instead of appreciating the positive compliments and learning from that one person and moving on, I hyper focus on that comment and think that I have failed that day. In this example, I filtered out the positive and focused on the negative. Second scenario. I plan to get together with a friend, but the morning of when we're getting together, my friend calls and says she can't make it. Instead of asking if she's okay, I assume that she doesn't like me and doesn't want to be around me. In this example, I personalize things and blame myself for bad things that happen. Here's another scenario. After giving my lesson to my college students, I realized that I forgot to mention a couple of points, so I deem my whole presentation as a failure. In this example, I have polarized my situation and see it as only good or bad with no middle ground. In this case, I let perfectionism get the best of me. Last scenario. In my haste to get to work in the morning, I spill coffee over my clothes and then I tell myself that the rest of my day is going to be bad. In this instance, I assume the worst and allow one incident to dictate the rest of my day. I'm happy to say that these responses are not typical for me now. Even though I still struggle occasionally, most of the time I have changed my attitude and way of thinking. So, in the first scenario I described, I check myself and don't focus on the negative comment if it's an outlying comment. I see if I can learn anything from that person and then move on. Same goes for the second and third scenarios where I check myself again and identify attitudes to change. For the last scenario, it helps if I can find humor and be able to laugh at the situation. If this video is helping you so far, I'd love it if you hit that like button. That way YouTube can share this video with others. And if you would like to share a scenario where you struggle with negative thoughts, please do so in the comments below. So, what can you do to replace negative thoughts? Here are a few action steps. First, identify thoughts to change. In order to change, you will need to identify areas or situations where you think negatively. Then develop a positive approach. Maybe instead of saying, "That's too hard," tell yourself, "This is an opportunity to learn." Or instead of, "I can't do this," say, "I'm going to try." Second, check your thoughts. Be conscious of your thinking throughout the day. Are you being negative? How can you put a positive spin on the situation? Third, find the humor. Sometimes it helps to be able to smile or laugh through challenging or difficult situations. Finding the humor can decrease feelings of stress. So instead of falsely thinking that my whole day is going to be bad after spilling coffee, I tell myself that this is a great time to try out that new stain remover. Fourth, practice positive self-talk. One advice I heard is not to say anything to yourself that you would not say to anyone else. Why put yourself down when you know it's not good to put others down? Encourage and be kind to yourself. So, go practice these tips and make them your regular habits. Remember, it will take time. I learned these tips back in my college years, but it took years of conscious effort to change my negative thoughts to positivity. And give yourself grace. God probably gives me more grace than I give myself. What strategies mentioned might help you? Or what strategies do you have that can help others? Please share them in the comments below. We can all learn from each other. I hope this video helped you. If you would like to learn about more ways to develop a positive mindset, please watch these videos here. If you learned something from this video, please hit the like button, share this video with someone, and then subscribe for future content on how to develop a fruitful and healthy mindset. And thank you for watching.